Well, the majority of the boats and the type of vessels that was used in the basin for fishing and whatever were always homemade. They were never out. I mean, nine and again somebody built a boat and you'd acquire the wood on your own, the gunnels and the cypress, and you knew somebody that could build a boat. I'm thinking about that right now. I got some gunnels to build a bateau boat, and there ain't nobody to build it. But there was not a lot of outside, like Steve Persilva. He could build a boat. Steve, I got some gunnels. I need to build me a 14-foot bateau or 18-foot bateau. I'm speaking to my daddy, talking to him, and he'd say, "Okay, Mr. Dan, when you want to do that?" "Well, as soon as I can get it to you." "Okay, that'd be $60 for the labor." And that's how it would go down. Now, my uncle, the 95-year-old, he could build a boat. You know, ironic that you asked that. I try to tell people about that, and to them, in the basin, a boat was a boat. That's not necessarily true. Wherever your domicile, wherever you lived, it took a particular type of boat to do that terrain. Like, well, my daddy used a 24-foot bateau with a lot of wells in it because you had to separate your fish, and then you had to haul some nets, and so he had one like that. Then he had one he'd go run trot line, just a pointed pirogue, and I got duplicates, all of that. And like at Basin, they had to do a lot of fishing on the river. The hook nets were bigger, and they had to fish in deeper water. Well, they'd build a longer boat with a deeper, longer rake and more flare. The more flare you put in a boat, the harder it is to sink. You build it like this, it goes straight down. You build it like this, it won't go straight down. The more you lay it like that, the harder it is. So in Basin, the guy that holds the title on building the best Basin boat, Ore Mendoza, he just died last year. I got some stuff that he did. I got a pirogue he built. And no. Now you see, when we moved to Meade Point, predominantly we didn't fish in Hog Island Pass and Keelboat Pass and the little lakes. We fished out in Grand Lake, and it got rough. So you had to build a different bateau boat with a higher bow because the waves are washed. You're trying to run your line, and the waves are washing over the bow of your boat, wash your bait pan off, and sink you. So that was a different style boat. That's the one that my brother-in-law built. You cut it out different, where it'll float different, have a higher, and the Basin boats are like that. Now you get off down around Bayou Booty, close to Morgan City, you see a totally different boat. They predominantly down there they use skiffs, pointed bows.
And these were boats that were built in people's backyards in the basin for the most part?
98%.
And these were techniques that they had learned from the forebears, hand tools.
Yeah. I can remember boats being built, no electric at all. Everything was hand sawed. Hand sawed and hand planed.
And do you remember what kind of boats they used for moss picking? Was it a flatter boat?
Well, a moss barge was nothing more than a flat box barge, no flare, no nothing, because it didn't have no power on it. And in the back, they built what they call a moss derrick. And that's what my uncle, his primary business was when my daddy married into the family. Because I remember he didn't have no kind of propulsion. All they had was oars. All his brothers, and that's all they had. And his dad and his mama. They never had propel until they moved to till my daddy went and got them and told them to me at point and brought them over there, and they came in with the push holes, just like there's one sitting out there.